welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the monthly money update for the month of May. I'm actually filming this intro at the end of the video. That's why my tea has gotten so low, but I'm really happy that you are here. Really happy to be diving into my finances for the month. It's kind of a long and rambly video, so grab yourself a drink or a snack, put me on in the background, go about your life. Let's talk about money. And as usual, don't forget to comment down below your most expensive and your best purchase of the month. I love hearing about what you guys are spending your money on, as well as any of your goals that you want to share. Let's keep each other accountable in the comments. Enjoy the video. All right, so with my new kind of more structured approach to these videos, we're first going to talk about how I felt about money this month. Then we are going to talk about what I spent. We're going to throw in a little bit about what I earned. And then we're going to talk about repaying my credit cards, putting money into savings and all of that. So that's going to be kind of the situation or the map of this video, and I'll try and put some timestamps down below so that if you don't care to talk about feelings, no hard feelings at all, you can just skip forward. So how did I feel about money this month? Well, for the most part, I felt pretty good. This month, I'm just like, let me think. So the way I do my financial months, if you will, is in line with my credit card cycles. And my credit card cycles go from the 23rd to the 22nd of every month. So I'm actually almost going from like mid-April to mid-May kind of thing. And that's how my financial months work. So it's not actually beginning of April to end of April. It's like it's middle of April to middle of May. So that's why I always film these around the 22nd or the 23rd, because that's when everything just kind of falls into place for me financially. And yeah, it's kind of annoying that it's not like a perfect calendar month, but I've just gotten used to it, and this is how I do my personal accounting now, and it's fine. So when I say month, I'm actually talking about a little bit of April and most of May. So this month I felt really good for the most part with my finances. I kind of challenged myself to do like a no spend month, or a low spend month rather, where I would only spend what's on my prepaid card. And it was going really well at the beginning. And then I started seeing, that balance going lower and lower. And I was just like, okay. Now, I think part of the reason that it didn't go so well, that challenge, is because I kind of set myself up for failure by not really having like strict lines of what goes on my prepaid card and what goes on my regular credit cards. For example, we'll see later this month, I spent a lot on my dog Maggie, and like vet bills, of course not, like doesn't go on my prepaid card, but like toys for her, treats for her, does that go on my prepaid card? If I'm splitting a pizza with friends, does that go on my prepaid card? Like there's a lot of gray areas, and what I'm realizing is the gray areas lead to failure. But it doesn't also have to be that strict. Like it doesn't have to be like you failed, right? Something that I'm really working on is being way less hard on myself when it comes to money, because guys, at the end of the day, life is short. We're meant to live it, okay? And I'm not saying that like dig yourself into debt, like do crazy things, but like we all saw that vlog where I was like sobbing over a parking ticket. And at the end of the day, it's okay to sob over the parking ticket, but like I shouldn't be feeling like every little thing is going to break me, because what kind of like relationship does that give me with money, right? If I had that kind of relationship with food, where if every time I ate a burger, I felt like it was gonna break me, well, that would be considered really, really unhealthy. But, obviously like finances are different, but I'm not the kind of person to be super strict with myself on a budget. I've never like been successful at that. And it's also just not really my goal either. My goal as it pertains to those feelings of financial anxiety is really just to work through them and to not always be coming at life from a place of lack. So if I fail at my low spend challenge, does that mean I'm gonna be poor? No. Does that mean I'm not gonna be able to pay my rent? No. So for me, because I have those feelings that this parking ticket's gonna make me poor, this splitting a pizza with my friends is gonna make me poor, I can't beat myself up if I don't succeed at my challenge. Now, the other reason I think at the beginning of the month especially I was feeling really good is because I wasn't spending money on stuff. And that has always been a big problem for me, is like I would self-soothe my anxiety, my feelings of not feeling good enough with stuff. I would buy clothing all the time. I still love clothes. I still love to buy clothes, don't get me wrong. But every single day, almost, I used to go shopping after work. Or almost every single day I'd be browsing at clothes online. Like every day, that's too much. Or I'd be looking for new home decor, like always stuff. Now I've started spending money more on like food and coffee and experiences. And while yes, coffee's overpriced and yes, eating out is overpriced, it's also just about the experience you have while consuming those things. And for me this month, a lot of that was like with friends or on a solo walk where I was just feeling really good. And so I was spending in a way that really made me feel happy and abundant and fulfilled. I wasn't spending like, oh, I need this skirt because then this guy will want to go on a date with me, or then I'll be the best dressed in the office. Or I wasn't trying to like fill any void with stuff. I was just embellishing my life with like food and drinks and activities. And that felt really good. And like that to me is like such a wonderful way to spend your money. And you can embellish your life with stuff. Like you totally can. I love stuff. But it's just like about the consistency, I think, and the mindset in which you're buying stuff. So most of the month I only spent on my prepaid card. I had given myself a budget of $400 and everything was good. Then, like I said, the balance started going down and it was kind of just like I threw my hands up in the air and I was like, whatever. The other thing was I started looking forward, and because I'm self-employed, my income isn't necessarily steady. It's not fixed or set or anything like that. And I started looking forward and thinking, oh my God, I don't have any like brand deals coming in. My YouTube views are down. I am not gonna make any money in the coming months. And I started freaking out. So pairing that like uncertainty about income with like starting to spend a little bit too much, and then I was freaking out, and then I was in a bad place. So that was kind of the last week of me being like not in the best place. And then when I sat down over the weekend and this morning to finish my budgeting, I looked at everything, and as usual, when I look at everything on paper, I feel better. So that's kind of where we're at now, where I'm like, okay, everything's fine. Yes, I overspent. No, I didn't fulfill my goal of having a successful low spend month, but I also didn't spend that much on anything too crazy. There's nothing that I really need to feel guilty about. My biggest challenge is just gonna be, how can I like make more money? How can I get more copywriting contracts? How can I get more sponsors for YouTube? How can I get more views on YouTube, right? Like growing in my new career is gonna be the challenge, rather than like beating myself up about everything that I spent, because like you're gonna see when we talk about the spending, there's actually nothing that I bought that's like so crazy that like, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have bought that. Like there's nothing really like that. Oh, all right, grabbing my laptop. That was a very rambly sort of summary about how I felt. I will end that on just by saying like, feeling scared about finances, feeling like you're coming at this like place of lack, financial anxiety, whatever it may be, is a horrible feeling. It's a really bad feeling. And I know from the comments on some of my other videos that some of you guys suffer from that or struggle with that as well. And like, I see you, I feel you. And as I learn to work through it, you know, I will share my tips with you. And for those who've already shared their tips in the comments, thank you, because it's really helpful. And it's just like, I feel like it's not talked about that much, but so many of us are going through that. And a lot of the times it's like rooted from stuff that we went through in childhood. So yeah. All right, so now let's get into the what I spent portion. Once again, I made a spreadsheet and I listed out every single thing that I spent on my credit cards. Then I categorized them. So rather than just go through this long list of everything that I bought, I'm just going to read to you the totals from the categories. I'm just like, should we start with the like individual stuff, or should I start with the totals first? We'll start with the individual stuff, I guess. So my grocery spend was $386 for the month. This is very good. My monthly budget is $400, which is about $100 a week, and I'm under that. I also ate like really well this month, so that was awesome. So groceries, good. I've got that in the bag. And yes, I hear you guys. I will have a video coming out soon about like how I budget, how I do my groceries on a budget. I'm just trying to figure out like the best way to film that. So coming soon, don't worry. I made a category called home stuff, and this was stuff like paint and garbage bags and like just like stuff for the house. Spent $125. That's actually a lot. Let's like break this down and see what I got. Okay, so yeah, I spent $25 at Home Depot. That was on like cleaning supplies and stuff to do painting. We painted my kitchen. Oh my gosh, okay, that's why it was so high. I bought hand weights for my house so that I can do at-home workouts, and that was $70. So that was pretty expensive, but it's actually like, it's a good deal on the weights because just weights in general are expensive, but yeah, I got those. I'm really glad I have them though, so that's fine. So that's pretty much it for home stuff. It was the weights and then garbage bags, cleaning supplies, and paint stuff. Gas, I spent $192 this month. That is because I drove to Ottawa and back, which is like the biggest eater of gas. When I'm in the city, I don't really drive that much, but my gas budget that I give myself is $400 a month, which is like too high, but I'm always under it, so it makes me feel good. So yeah, $200 on gas. Oh my God, this is like my killer this month. It was actually my dog. So I had a lot of expenses related to my dog Maggie this month for a total of $894. Ouch, you guys, ouch, ouch, ouch. So of that, let's call it $900, $600 was for her vet. She had like her annual vet appointment with all of the shots. And then I bought a half-year supply of flea and tick medication for the summer. So all of that together cost $600. And I spoke about that last month actually, because I took the $600 out of my emergency fund because this is my first like annual vet visit with her. All of the previous vet visits were when she was a puppy. And so it was like more frequent but less expensive visits. So I was not prepared to be spending $600 at the vet. So I actually took this money out of my emergency fund, and I'm really grateful that I had the emergency fund to cover that $600 because yeah, I was not prepared. So after the $600, there's an additional $300. What was that on? So that was $100 for food, and typically her food, I'd buy like the giant bags, and that will typically last about 2 months. So it's like $50 a month for food for her, which is fine. I, gotta do that. And okay, so that was $100, and then there was a remaining $200. So that was, I spent $50 on a security camera to spy on her while she's out. If you watch my vlogs, you know that she is suffering from very bad separation anxiety. It's actually already getting so much better because of these things that I bought. So I'm so grateful for that. We've really been putting in the work to help her feel better. So I bought a security camera. I bought an anxiety blanket that like wraps around her that she can wear while I'm out to help like soothe her. That was $70, I think. So everything was just really expensive as it was to do with her separation anxiety. So it was kind of like a big doggy investment this month. And I also restocked on some toys, which was $50. So all in all, that was like $900 of spending for the dog. $600 of that was already paid off. So that only leaves about $300 that like I actually kind of spent or have to pay back. Next category was dining out. Here I spent $96. Most of my dining out happened on my prepaid card, which is great. Like that's just done, already paid, it's perfect. $60 of this $90 was on a pizza that I split with friends and put on my card. Now, when we talk about financial anxiety, like this is one of the things that like putting that pizza on my card stresses me the F out. Even though all my friends like immediately e-transfer me, help me, like, everyone pays their portion, it just like bugs me putting that kind of stuff on my credit card. And that's not the kind of person that I want to be. Like, I don't want to be like that cheap friend that's like, no, don't put it on my credit card. Because it's not like I don't have space on my card for it. It's not like anything like that. It's not like they don't pay me back. Like, it's just me being anxious and worried, and it's such a bad feeling, and it's like an ugly feeling, and like I just like I hate that I do that, you know. So dining out was 96. There was a few other things in here that was like, I got a coffee at Tim Hortons. This is when my prepaid card ran out, and I bought like coffee at Tim Hortons. I bought another coffee, like just a few things here and there. But honestly, $100 and 60 of that being like split with friends is really not that bad. That's what I mean when I was saying like, I'm not gonna beat myself up about this, because it's like, okay, you went $30 over budget, like it's fine. I've done so much worse, so like it's fine. Next category is transportation. This is separate from the car. I spent $35 on city bikes, which is like the Bixi bike sharing here in Montreal. $35 is actually really expensive to spend on Bixi when that was all within 2 weeks. And I could have just bought a monthly pass for $18. So I'm pretty ashamed of myself. I should have just bought the pass. Moving forward, I'm just gonna buy the pass. We won't talk about that. Business expenses. So what? So expenses related to, usually it's just my YouTube channel. So that could be like coffee meetings that I've had, or actually that was all it was like a coffee meeting, 2 coffee meetings, and the payment for my MacBook. This, I have it actually financed, 0 interest, 1-year financing that like Apple partners with PayBright. So I pay $140 a month for this computer, and it's like a business expense because I need it to do my job. So that's fine, I categorize that there. Car stuff. Okay, this was an expensive month for car stuff because, as we all know, I got a parking ticket. Ouch. Like, ugh. And I also got my tires changed and stored. So it was $90 for the parking ticket and $135 to change my tires and then store them throughout the summer. They store my winter tires. It's good, it's worth it. But yeah, that was my car expenses. And for those of you who know about my windshield, I haven't gotten that fixed yet, so we don't have the expense for that yet. I don't even know how much it's gonna cost. Next category is therapy, $160. My budgeted amount for that is 2 therapy sessions, which is $320. So I only did 1 this month, so I was under budget. And my last category is treat yourself. So this would be like, what did I even put in here? I bought a gift for a friend for $30, and then, I bought a bunch of books and a gift for another friend from Indigo for $50. So in total, we're at $75 in that category, which I'm really not mad about. It's fine. So the thing as it pertains to my spending is like, I don't have budgets for all of those little categories. Like you guys heard me mention, I only have a set budget for groceries, gas, and therapy. Those are the only categories that I've outlined like a spending goal for. So I definitely need to reflect and think like, do I want to set goal amounts for other categories? Part of me is like, yes, because obviously like financially and budgeting wise, that's like the smart thing to do. But the other part of me is like, no, because I just don't want to get so nitty gritty, because I don't know if that's going to make my anxiety worse. I guess it wouldn't hurt to try it for a month and see how it makes me feel. So to be updated next month, if that is something that I try. I know someone in the comments is going to be like, yes, do it. It's going to help your anxiety. So I hear you guys, I hear you, but it's just like emotionally, it's really hard for me. So I broke everything down into totals that I'm going to share with you all now. So on my American Express, total spending was $1,168. That is the amount that I owe. On my MasterCard, $773. That is the amount that I owe. And then on my Coho, I spent $400. What I spent is not included in those categories that I just gave you guys, because my Coho is like my guilt-free spending. I don't review it when it's done. It's just like my guilt-free spending. I can tell you that most of that was on dinner out, coffee. It was just like a lot of out and about activities. So that is what got spent on my prepaid card, for a grand total of spending this month, $2,342. That is how much I spent this month. How much I owe this much, how much debt I have, so what I have to repay on my credit cards is $1,942. So I'm not so mad about it. It's not that bad. all of those feelings that I had, probably, you know, not fully worth it. Not so bad. Okay, so we will talk about my plan to repay that debt and like what, you know, my accounts are looking like, moving all of our money around. But it's been a while since I've talked about my earnings, and I know you guys miss it when I talk about that. But I do want to thank you for respecting that I can't always talk about it, because as you know, sometimes it, you know, it brings me stress. It's like very uncertain right now, and I'm just getting used to this freelancer finances lifestyle. I'm getting used to this way of earning money, but I broke everything down for this month and I got some totals that I am going to share with you, but my camera's gonna die, so I need to give it some juice, and I will be right back. Back now. Let's move it back to where we were before. So in case anyone is new, or in case anyone needs a little bit of a refresher, what do I do for work? How do I make money? All of that. So my number one source of income is YouTube and everything that surrounds it. So that is YouTube AdSense, which is the ads that play on the videos. It earns me income through YouTube. So it's like Google or YouTube who pays me directly. Then there are sponsored videos. So anytime a video has a sponsor, I work with the sponsor, negotiate a rate, and they pay me. And then there could also be like affiliate links. What else? Did I write anything down? Yeah, like affiliate links or other things like that, but I don't really earn very much money from that. I'm not a big linking kind of girl, I guess. So AdSense payments happen regularly, like every single month. They happen on the same day. Usually it's actually the 22nd, which lines up perfectly with that whole financial month I was talking about earlier. But because we had a holiday yesterday, I haven't actually received my AdSense payment yet, because I think the banks are only open today and still processing everything. So that's okay. That is usually, no, I was gonna say that's the highest, but that's not true. But it's just like steady. It's like every month I can look forward to a payment from AdSense. The amount itself is not steady. Like in February, I made, I think, almost $4,000 from AdSense, and this month I'm only making about $1,500. And any amount is incredible, because to me it's like any amount means that I'm like earning money for doing something that I love. So it's just like so amazing. And it's really taken a big transition in me to see this as a paycheck, because it had always been like my side hustle and bonus money. And so now like relying on it to pay my rent and live is like a bit weird. But I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful that like this gets to be my job. It's scary, it's terrifying, but it's so exciting and fulfilling at the same time. Then there's sponsorships, and sponsorships are a lot of work. They're really great, especially when it's like a brand that you've been looking up to for years or that you've loved for years. It's like a dream come true. Sponsorship payment is tricky. Some sponsors will pay you immediately right away, and other times, most times, they actually take like 30 business days for the amount to show up in your bank account. Sometimes they take months to pay you. I've even been ghosted and like not been paid at all. So sponsorships can be very, very tricky, which is why it's harder for me to sit on camera and tell you guys about how much I earned, because when I worked corporate, I earned the same paycheck, the same amount every 2 weeks. Now it's just not the case. I get little sprinkles of it here and there, and the only thing that comes in reliably on time is that AdSense paycheck. Now I also work as a freelance copywriter. At the moment, I only have one client, and their needs from me vary every single week and every single month. So some months I make quite a bit of money from that. Some months I make not much at all. And then the last job I have that I've spoken about sometimes is as a bookkeeper. It's actually for my dad's small business. I help him out with the bookkeeping, and I actually don't really get paid for it. I'm mostly just like doing it to help him out, but I do track my hours as if I was getting paid, because we might figure something out later on. But yeah, it's a small business. I'm like not on payroll or anything like that. I'm just like mostly doing this for the experience and also to help him out. So what did I earn this month? How much money did I make? This is all going to be before tax and in Canadian dollars. So let's run through it. From my copywriting contract, I made, actually, let me specify, I received. This is not a bill for work that was done during this financial month. This is money that came into my bank account this financial month. Okay, so that's like the difference is like, this is for work that was done in March, in early April. This is not work that was done this month. So copywriting contract, I earned $1,000, well, $1,010 before tax. From bookkeeping, I didn't actually get paid this amount like I just said, but if I were to have gotten paid, I would have earned $368. From AdSense, again, I haven't actually received it yet, but I'm estimating about $1,500. And in sponsorship, this pay period of like what I received included a dedicated video that paid really, really well. I'm so grateful for it. A dedicated video is when the whole video is made just for that one brand, and rates for videos like that are much, much higher than an integrated video, which is like an integrated clip in the vlog. So I had one video that paid quite high. It actually paid around $1,500, which is so amazing, like blows my mind. And the rest was a few other videos for a total of, which is fucking phenomenal. I'm so grateful, like so grateful. Can't say it enough. This is similar and comparable to the monthly amount that I was making at my corporate job, which was about $4,000 a month. So I'm very happy with this. I'm very grateful. I'm excited to see it grow in the future, just like you would want your business to grow or your salary at a corporate job to grow. The scary thing is that it's not this every month. And like, as I'm predicting, I predict less next month, which is the anxious side of me. But we'll just have to wait and see. I'm just kind of like, I need to tell myself, just go with the flow. And the other thing with my finances and my earnings that I am constantly needing to tell myself, and that I want you all to remember too, as it pertains to like being your own boss, you know, not working corporate, but like working as a freelancer, is like, you need to look at yourself like a business. Like if you opened a store, you wouldn't expect every single month to be the same, and you wouldn't get so hard on yourself if you had a slow month at your store. You would understand that things come in waves and that things might pick up, and you would look at it with more of a business mindset, right? Businesses take on debt, businesses try things and fail. And so what I need to start doing is looking at myself as a business and not as a salaried employee. My income's gonna be different every single month. That's okay. If I look at myself like a business, it makes sense that your business's income is different every single month. So I need to look at it like that. And that's something that helps me just have more confidence in the variability of my income and think more long-term than like immediate paycheck. Because it's like, it's a balance of like, I'm doing what makes me happy, I'm doing what I love, and this financial is like kind of one of the downsides of it, but I guess that's entrepreneurship. I don't know, I'm not gonna sit here and be inspirational to you guys about entrepreneurship. I just wanna let you in on what's going on in my mind. So let me know if you enjoyed or appreciated that little insight into my earnings. For me, explaining it that way is a way that makes me feel really comfortable, and I think we can keep going that way, but please just understand that some months we might get that, some months we might not. It's all just gonna depend on how I'm feeling, but let me know in the comments if you like that and wanna keep hearing about that. You guys, I totally forgot to go over my recurring expenses. Now I keep these out of my like spending budget just because to me they happen every single month. It's like a no-brainer, have to pay it. So, but I always get questions in the comments like, don't you pay rent? Don't you pay your electric bill? Yes, I do. I just don't talk about it because it's boring and it happens every single month. But really quick, my rent and my parking is $1,510 a month. My hydro bill, which is heat, hot water, and electricity all looped into one, is about $100 every 60 days. This goes up in the wintertime. I'm not signed up for equalized payments or anything like that. So it varies. I could sign up, but I just don't. My car payment is about $210 a month. It's actually split in two. So every 2 weeks, $105 comes out of my checking account. My phone bill is $75 and my internet is $80. So now let's talk about repayment. Do I have enough to cover this? Do I have any money that's going to go into my savings this month? Happy to say that the answer is yes. Now I have put aside some money already throughout the month, I like to give myself little injections of money into a savings account that I have that I call saving to spend, which just allows me to front load some of the payments towards my credit card. It's also where I put any money when I split a pizza or I buy something for a friend that they need to pay me back for. When they transfer me the money, I put it there so that it's ready to go to cover my credit cards when it's time to pay them off. So in that account right now, I have $730, which just about covers my MasterCard, which is great. Then I have my YouTube money, which is where I put all of the money that I get from sponsorships, from AdSense, which hasn't yet been received, but that's like my salary money. So I always try and maintain a certain balance in that account, but I've gotten a lot better at like taking from my salary to pay off my expenses. So my Amex bill is going to come out of there to pay that off. I have set a goal for myself to every month put $1,000 into my emergency fund. I'm happy to say that I'm going to hit that goal this month, which is like, I get tingles in my arms. I'm so happy. Every time I'm able to achieve a savings goal, it's like the greatest gift that I can give to myself. So that is also going to come from my salary, from my YouTube money. And then I'm also going to put $1,000 into my 1 month ahead account. I already have about $600 in that account. So that is going to cover my rent on the 1st of June when it is time to pay rent. The last thing is just to refill my Coho. Which is the prepaid card, I'm going to refill it with $300 from my salary. So everything is covered, everything is good, and that feels amazing. It's such a relief and a weight off of my shoulders when not only I can pay off my debts, my credit cards, but also contribute to my future and to that emergency fund. And my goal for my emergency fund is $10,000. With this injection, I will be at 5, so I'm halfway towards my goal. And if things keep going, in this pattern, which I don't know if they will, but hopefully if I can keep hitting that goal of $1,000 a month, then in 5 months, I'll have my emergency fund fully funded, and I feel like that will give me some great peace of mind. Also, you guys, I just want to talk about my stocks and my investments quickly because I never really talk about them. I haven't been contributing to them lately. And as I'm sure this is the case for so many of you, don't check your stocks, guys. Don't check your investments. Just leave it alone. They're doing so bad right now. Yeah, my fund investments are down 9%. My RSP is down 11%, and my tax-free savings account is down 19%. So I'm just leaving them alone, focusing on my emergency fund right now. My emergency fund is held with Wealthsimple Cash. It's like a savings account that actually earns you 1% interest. So that's earning me more than the market's earning me right now. So I'm happy to have my emergency fund saved there. If you want to check it out, I will link it down below. And that is that for all of my spending, all of my earning, all of my repayments, all of my finances for this month. Let's do a symbolic laptop close. All right, you guys, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching this monthly money update. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and don't forget to let me know your most expensive and your best purchase of the month. I can't really put my finger on what my best purchase is, but my most expensive was definitely stuff for the dog. But low-key, I think those were some of the best purchases too, because their separation anxiety is going so well, which just makes me really happy. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. What was I doing? I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video.